Well, I just wanted to record this quick video to tell you my experience with the Canon R8 camera. You can see from the title of the video, I did purchase this camera and I used it for about a week, I would say, but I had to return it. I felt I had to return it, and I was a little bit disappointed and kind of bummed out about that, but I wanted to go over what happened and tell you my story. So give you a little bit of background or history. I've been a amateur photographer for probably about 6-7 years now, and it's a great passion of mine. I started I think with the D3300 with Nikon, and didn't know, I just bought it and I was ready to go on a vacation to Mexico. I didn't know anything about photography. I think the month or two before the vacation, I just watched a lot of videos and learned how to use it, took it on the trip, and it worked out fine, but I got hooked on photography. And then over time, I bought some other Nikon cameras and eventually ended up with a Nikon D7500 APS-C camera, which I used for a long time. And I really got into my favorite type of photography is birds in flight. And I got into that and do a lot of macro photography too now. And then I guess with birds in flight, I felt that the autofocus system on the D7500 just really wasn't where it needed to be. And I was a member of a local photography club, and one of the gentlemen there who was a good photographer told me about the Canon line. And I decided to, with much hesitation, I made the switch from Nikon to Canon, sold all my Nikon gear, which was kind of tough, and I ended up going with the Canon R6. I'm glad I did, and I haven't looked back. I just love the Canon cameras and their autofocus systems, and I bought the R6 about between 3 and 4 years ago, and I really loved it, and I still have it, and I really love it. And I was using the Sigma 150 to 600 lens on that with an adapter. And it was okay, but I found out that the Sigma, for whatever reason, the photos really weren't as sharp as I thought they would be, and the autofocus system using the Sigma just wasn't where it needed to be. I ended up getting the Canon 100 to 400. Great lens. It's not a high quality lens, but it takes very good pictures. The photo quality is very good. And the autofocus, it focused better with the Canon than the Sigma did. So, I started thinking I had the Canon R6 for 3 to 4 years, and I started to say, I don't have another camera either. It's my only camera. If something were to happen to the R6, it gets broken or stolen, hey, I won't be able to take any more pictures. That'll be a bummer. So I started to look around, and let me say this, when I went from Nikon to Canon, I had always shot Nikon with the APS-C, but when I got the R6, it was the first time I'd ever used or had a full frame camera, and I was just amazed at how much better the photos looked, and I said, I don't think I'd ever go back to APS-C camera. So that's why when I started looking for a backup camera to the R6, I wanted to get a full frame Canon camera preferably, and I wanted to stay with the Canon line. So I thought of maybe getting R6, another R6, used, would be cheaper. I kicked around maybe getting the R6 II, the newer model of the R6, and I didn't really know, but I found out there was the R8 that was available. And I said, well, the R8 is quite a bit cheaper. I think it was like $1,300 as compared to about $2,000 for the R6 II. And although I watched a lot of videos online, and they said, well, the R8 only has one card slot, which to me was not really going to be a problem. I've never had a card fail on me before, so that wasn't a deal breaker. They said, well, the battery life was not very good on the R8 because the battery was smaller, but I said, well, I'll just buy more batteries and just deal with it. And then it had a tendency to overheat if you were mainly using video, and I don't do a whole lot of video with my R6 camera, so that really wasn't going to be a big deal. I never heard of really the R8 having much or any problems with overheating when you're taking just still pictures. So, but I heard the autofocus system on the R8 was just spectacular. It was just as good as the R6 II and the R3, and better than the R6, which I had. And so I thought, well, let me just roll the dice, and I think I'll just go ahead and buy the R8 because of the improved autofocus system, and I'll just kind of deal with some of these other issues on the side. So I went ahead and ordered the R8 off of Amazon. I think I paid about $12.99, which I think is the going rate right now, $1,300 basically. And I'd already gotten the Canon 200 to 800 lens, and right now it's birding season, so I thought, hey, it'd be great. I can get the R8, a new autofocus system, not just in time with the 200 to 800 Canon, and I can go out and birding season, it'll just be great. And so I got the R8 in, charged it up, bought some extra batteries, 4 extra batteries actually, and learned how to use it, set it up for back button focus, dual back button focus. And I was impressed with the autofocus system, and I thought it performed very well. And I really liked the camera. And so I was in the backyard. Did notice though that the battery life was quite a bit shorter than the R6, and I had to be replacing batteries more often, but like I said, that was something I was just going to have to deal with. In the backyard I have set up a lot of bird feeders, hummingbird feeders, so every day I had birds out, so I was able to take pictures pretty much every day with the R8 and the 200 to 800 lens. It is performing greatly, but I noticed one day I was out just taking still pictures, and the kind of heating or overheating warning logo warning sign came on the camera. It didn't actually overheat, but there's like 10 bars that you get for the overheating warning, and it started off 1 or 2 bars, and then got up maybe 6, 7, 8 bars. And I said, hey, wow, this camera's kind of overheating. I'm just taking stills, but never shut off. So I think I just decided to go inside for a while, had to do something, and came back. It cooled off, and was able to take pictures with no problems. And then I was outside again in the backyard taking photos, and then I think I was taking a couple of short videos, about maybe 20, 30 seconds. Video, and then again back taking pictures. I wanted to document some video, some bird activity, and I noticed again that the camera started, the overheat warning symbol came on again, and I thought, well, okay, well, that's kind of odd. And I never had that problem with any of the Nikon cameras I had, or the Canon R6. I would be out all day with the Canon R6, even in middle of the summer, the beach, and under the sun, never had any overheating issues at all. And I thought, well, hey, this is kind of odd, because right now it's not very hot here in Texas where I am. Temperatures were only about in the 70s, mid to high 70s, although there was, sun, it was a sunny day. And I thought it was kind of odd that the overheating warning would be coming on. So this was the second time that it happened, and it got up to like 6, 7, 8 bars, and so I kind of just shut the camera off and let it cool down for a little bit, and it didn't take maybe 5, 10 minutes. Went back to using it and didn't have any problems after that. And one time I did have an issue with one of the batteries, aftermarket batteries. I put it in, I just charged it up, or so I thought. The camera just shut off on me. I can't say that was actually a problem with the camera. Might have been the battery, because then I noticed that the battery charger might have had some issue. The battery maybe didn't charge like I think it did. But then the third incident I had, I went to take a walk in the neighborhood. It was a sunny day. I checked the temperature. It was like 79 degrees. It wasn't even 80 degrees. And I was walking around. I'd like to go walk down to the lake in my neighborhood. As I was walking, I was taking pictures of flowers and bees, and and I got down to the lake, which probably took me 30-40 minutes. I wasn't, say, using the camera the whole time I was walking. Got down to the lake, wanted to take some pictures of some dragonflies, and I was only there maybe 10 minutes, 15 at the most, and I was just getting into what I wanted to do to try to take pictures of, and I wasn't paying attention, I guess, to the camera LCD screen. Like I said, it was 78, 79 degrees, and I was in full sun at the time, because I remember thinking, man, it's getting a little warm today, but you know, the sun was beating down on me and I guess the camera. But I was trying to take pictures, and this time I wasn't taking any video at all, just still pictures. And I said, didn't notice the back of the LCD, but all of a sudden, in the middle of taking pictures, the camera just shut off. And I went, hey, what's happened? Why did the camera shut off? I guess didn't realize that the overheating warning had come on. So I went back, sat in the car, and had to wait about maybe 10 minutes for the camera to cool down, turned it on. I think it showed that it's still the overheating warning was on, but it didn't have any bars on there. But I'm like, hey, this is not really that good. This is the third time I've had a problem with the overheating, and this time the camera just shut off. It wasn't even 80 degrees yet outside. I was only outside 30 minutes, and I'm like, hey, this is not good, because in the summertime here in Houston, we get temperatures in the 90s, 100 degrees, and if I want to go outside to the park in the summer, next coming months, be outside for an hour in and out of the sun, or if I want to go to the beach and take some pictures of birds in flight, it's going to be 80, 90 some degrees outside. Usually I'm there for hours, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours taking pictures. And this thing's going to shut off on me, especially if it's shut off in 78, 79 degree temperatures. What's it going to do when the temperatures are in the 80s and the 90s? Hey, man, I'm going to be outside for a short time, and it's going to keep overheating and shutting off. So I said, this is not good. So I kind of labored the point, did I do something wrong? Is it just me? I went online, and there was another gentleman, a photographer, and he does reviews on cameras. He had some review on the R8. And like I said, you normally hear people having overheating issues with the R8 when they're taking video, especially like 4K video. But this gentleman had a video saying that his R8 overheated on him just taking still pictures as well. And I looked at some of the comments of the people on that video, and a lot of them had the same experience. They were like, I wasn't taking any video either, and my camera overheated. The R8 overheated just taking stills, so it seems to be a little maybe more common than I thought, that the camera overheated just taking stills. So I sent him a message, asked him, hey, what did you do? Was there a fix to it? Maybe there's a software update, or what did you find out from Canon? He said, no, I just ended up returning the camera. So I thought about it, said, well, I really like the R8. I like the autofocus system, and it's a nice camera. It's smaller than the R6, and has some advantages to it. But I said, I can't, be dealing with this. I can't risk this going out, or hey, I'm going to have to always take a backup camera with me and have it on me, because this thing may overheat at any time, and it's just kind of inconvenience and a hassle. So I made the decision to send the camera back to Amazon. It was only had it, like I said, a week. I think he got 30 days. There was no problem, no hassle. I went online, told them what happened. They sent me the mailing label information to put in a box, and I mailed it back, and they were going to credit me back on my credit card. So sad to say, I turned the R8 in, and that was my experience. So I just want to let you all know, make sure if you take a lot of still pictures, you still may have problems with the R8 overheating, especially in temperatures that are hot. And a lot of the video that I watched, he said he had the same problem. The temperature where he was at was only in the 70s as well, and a lot of the people commenting on his post said their temperatures were also in the 70s as well. So like I said, I hate to think what's going to happen when the temperatures are in the 80s and 90s with this camera. So just be careful if you live in in areas where the temperature is warm, 70s, 80s, with a lot of sunshine, I think you're going to have problems with this camera overheating on you, even when you're just taking stills. So just keep that in mind. So what I did, I ended up going ahead and just getting the R6 II. Kind of broke down. I had some other old camera equipment I wasn't using, and I sold that and was able to get some good money and put down and about half of it and bought the R6 II. Have had it about a week and a half, and I really like it. There's some improvements to the R6, and I've been took it out to do some birding, and I think the autofocus system, it works better than the R6. So that's what happened to me. So again, if you're thinking about the R8, I just wanted to make this video just to give you my experience of what happened to me. And go ahead, I'll try to find the link to the video that I watched on YouTube of the other gentleman who had problems with his R8 overheating just taking stills, and I'll put a link to that also in this video. So hopefully this video will help you out, and hey, good luck on your photography, and I hope you make the right choice and find that right camera for you. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.